What is up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's late night agenda. As always, I'm your host Craig, and you guys are very welcome along to the show. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all healthy. I hope life's treating you good. It's lovely to be here chatting with you all as always. There's loads for us to get through. Some big news today with regards to the Premier League, which of course we will go through in detail, or as much detail as we have. As always, I want to start a shout out. I definitely don't want to shout out. I want to start the show by shouting out all of our members and saying thank you. Giving you guys a heads up that from Saturday, the Bundesliga is back. The fixtures have been announced. They are on BT. The blackout of 3 p.m. is gone, so the half two games, which is what the Bundesliga used to kick off, will be in force. And I hope to see you guys on Hot Mic and on YouTube for our watch-alongs, because we're going to be doing them. We're going to be doing games on Saturday. We're going to be doing games on Sunday. And this is it. This is the moment. This is where all the shit that you've heard me say about Hot Mic comes into play, ladies and gentlemen. Download the Hot Mic app for free in the Google Play Store or in the Apple App Store. Put in the code you can see on the screen right there now after you download the app and you're prompted. Anfield, all capital letters. We're live on Hot Mic right now as well, but it will come into its own from the weekend, ladies and gents, because live sport is back, and live sport is what Hot Mic was built for. So I hope that you guys can support us on there. We're heading towards 2,000 followers on Hot Mic. I'd love to do it by the end of the season. So please, 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 if you do get a chance, link in the description. Download that Hot Mic app. Follow us on there. Can't ask any more of you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, by the way, the app's completely free. It's ad-free. It's free to download. There is a live chat function. Everything you get on YouTube. Plus the sync button that allows you to watch the game in sync with how you're watching it. If you've paused it to go through the loop, doesn't matter. Hot Mic knows. It'll sync up our commentary direct to your television. Beautiful, beautiful piece of kit. I'll talk you through it in more detail as the weekend comes closer. But all I can ask you to do is show us your support, ladies and gents, and download that app. Right, Farrell, first super sticker of the day. Little fist bump, dude. I love it. Well in. Again, as I said, shout out to all our members. Thank you for those of you that have been with us, for those that have supported us throughout the shutdown, the lockdown, whatever you want to call it. Everybody's numbers are down right across the board with regards to views and everything, but we've been fairly consistent. And why have we been fairly consistent? Because you guys are the best fucking subscribers on YouTube, bar none. I've said it time and again. We're very fortunate to have such a great community of Reds and football fans on here in general, so thank you. Right, loads for us to get through. Where do we want to start tonight? And hello to everybody that's joining us on Hot Mic as well. Please do hit the share button if you're on Hot Mic. Let people know that we're live. Let people know that the app exists. And it helps us out financially as well by you just hitting that share button. It's brilliant. Joanne, there we go. First, Joanne with the onset super sticker. It's not a stream without that one. Right, so the breaking news today is that it looks as though the Premier League clubs will get to play out the remaining games at their own stadiums. Talks are taking place with local police forces to scrap the idea of neutral venues, and there will be strict warnings for fans not to congregate near the grounds. Now, this has been one of the big sticking points, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of the clubs, I think particularly those in the bottom half of the league, didn't want to give up their home field advantage for the remainder of their fixtures. And it is understandable, although there is an argument to say that safety, yada yada, but let's push that to one side. Let's just go with the good news. I'm always happy to share the good news, and the good news is it looks like that we will be able to see out the remainder of the games for us at Anfield, for the ones we were scheduled to play at home, and for clubs like Brighton or whoever it might be. Everybody gets to play the fixtures as they were scheduled. If you've got home games left, you'll play them at home, away games away. Beautiful. I love it. It's great. And there can be no excuses from anybody now. I mean, as fair as this can be, I think it's a great solution. I thought that we were going to be in the situation where we had these 8 to 10 stadiums that the police and the government had deemed suitable for various reasons, but the fact that teams would be able to play their own stadiums, the fact that Hendo may be able to do the old Hendo shuffle and raise that Premier League trophy aloft above his head, class, love it. At Anfield, beautiful. Okay, there won't be fans in there, fair enough, but It's great, and it's good for the clubs as well, like Brighton, like Aston Villa, who I think have taken something like 67% of their points at home this season in the Premier League. So look, it's good for everybody. I think we can all agree that this is good news. I mean, it's not very often we've been able to say that lately. There's been so much what should happen, what shouldn't happen, so many arguments about voiding the league or whatever. But this is good news, and I'm always happy to be able to share good news. So yeah, Hendo Shuffle incoming at Anfield. Mwah. What more do you want, ladies and gentlemen? Opposition fans that wanted the league voided can, how best to put this? You can kiss my ass. I think that's the best way of putting it, ladies and gents. Yeah, I'm delighted. It's class. Right, what have we got? Apparently null and void is not an option. It was never an option. This is the thing. Never an option. I've been saying this for a very, 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 very long time. It was never an option to null and void the season. It was never going to happen. We've explained, and numerous other people have as well, the reasoning behind why it wasn't going to happen. You can take litigation. You can take the relegation factors in, the promotions of clubs up and down the divisions. There's just so many reasons. The integrity of the damn league. So many reasons why this was never going to happen. And now it looks like we're going to get our football back. We still have to figure out exact dates. I mean, probably second to third week in June. Boya, how are you? Said good. He was against using neutral venues, and to be fair, you were, mate. I remember having conversations with you about the very topic on Twitter. Craig, which stadium would you like to win the league in? I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it at the Etihad, to be honest. I mean, I think our next game would be against Everton away. So, I mean, what a game to kick back off the Premier League. For the Reds, I mean. Away at Woodison against Everton. So, yeah, that'd do nicely. Beat them and then perhaps go to the Etihad. And we can literally call it the fucking Emptyhad now. And nobody can moan at us. And to win it there would be great. But I don't care. I honestly don't give a shit where or when we win it. As long as we do win it. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. I can talk about us winning the league, and I will. But I've always said it's about more than Liverpool just winning the league. And Joanne, thank you for the drop the mic super sticker, mate. Really appreciate it. It has always been about, for me as a fan, more than just Liverpool winning the Premier League. There is relegation to sort out. There is promotion to sort out. There is Champions League, Europa League places to sort out as well. And that has always been important to me as a football fan. I know people might not believe that. People will come on and go, yeah, you're a Liverpool fan, you're only interested in the Reds winning the league. Well, look, of course I'm interested in us winning the league. But I am a fan of the league. I am a fan of football. I want the league to be created and finished as it was supposed to be. 38 games, everybody plays home and away. At the end of the season, whoever's top wins, whoever's bottom, second, third from bottom goes down. It's sporting integrity. We've spoken about it for a long time. And I genuinely meant it when I said it's about more than us winning the league. It is. Right, thank you. Kieran said, if you had an option, would you rather sign Maddison or Grealish, and why? Thank you for the super chat, mate. Really appreciate it. And don't forget, I'll be over to Hot Mic for some questions soon, so please do get some ready. Right, what have we got? Who would I rather sign? I mean, they both have tremendous heads of hair. Let's start off with that as somebody who has none. I mean, I'm going to go with Maddison. I think Maddison may suit us a little bit better, but they're two very good players. Who would you pick, Kieran? Great question, mate, by the way. Who would you pick? And we did have the opportunity to sign James Maddison when he was at Norwich. We didn't go ahead. Leicester got that deal over the line and he's turned into a great player for them. I've always kind of had an inkling that Grealish may end up at Manchester United for some reason or another. I don't know why, but I've always had that feeling. Joey, how are you, buddy? Over on Hot Mic said up the Dortmund this weekend. Yep, look, it's back. It's all about the Bundesliga. We're going to be on Timo Werner watch. We're going to be supporting the Bundesliga as well. We're going to be supporting Kloppo's old club in Borussia Dortmund. Let me know who you're going to get behind. If you're a Bayern Munich fan, Boo is the politest way I can put that. I mean, who's really a Bayern Munich fan? Come on. I mean, there's so many better clubs that we can be supporting than FC Hollywood. So, yeah, if it's Borussia Dortmund, if it's Bayern Munich, if it's Borussia Mönchengladbach, if it's Schalke, whoever it might be, let me know. And, yeah, I'm going to be full on Timo Werner watch without a shadow of a doubt. Guess who's back? I'm back. I'm back, Brett. That's who's back, baby. Craig, if you could sign one player from a rival team, who would you sign and why? Kevin De Bruyne, because he's absolutely world class, mate. And imagine Kevin De Bruyne whipping in balls for our front three, mate. Wow. Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne, without a shadow of a doubt. Outside of that, Kylian Mbappe, of course, but you did say from a rival, so yeah. Dara said Mike Tyson making a comeback. Crazy. There has been talk, of course, that 53-year-old Mike Tyson, I think maybe, may even fight 57-year-old Evander Holyfield for charity. In what would be, I suppose, technically a trilogy after Holyfield beat him twice, 1-3 disqualification. I've seen Mike Tyson on the pads, Dara, and it's impressive, but he is a 50-something-year-old man, even if he is a 50-something-year-old Mike Tyson. I would hope it's 3-4 rounds and for charity and purely exhibition stuff. I wouldn't like to see him getting back in with the serious heavyweights, if you get me. I mean, I think everyone understands where I'm coming from with that one. Right, so Joey said, really looking forward to watching the likes of Haaland, Sancho, Werner and more this weekend. Liam Kelly on Hot Mic said, up Wolfsburg. The admin follows him on Twitter. Well, there you go. I mean, Wolfsburg, why not? Why not? Volkswagen FC. Lols Beeb said Leipzig to watch Werner. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I'm going to be on Timo Werner watch. You can bet your ass. Which is why I'm saying to you to download that Hot Mic app, because the watch-alongs are going to be so much better when you get to use that app and you get to get that ambient crowd noise behind. You know what's really weird? So people said to me so much, it's going to be so odd, football coming back inside empty stadiums, not having the crowd noise and stuff like that. To me, it's never made any difference. Because every time I do a watch-along, I don't have any noise on my TV because of copyright issues, because I don't want my microphone picking up the commentary or the noise from the TV. So I've always had to do my watch-alongs in silence. So it's not going to make any difference to me. I'm probably actually at a bit of an advantage in that my commentary is going to be normal, because I don't get noise anyway when I do watch along. So yeah, it's not going to be any different to me, other than when, of course, I watch the games back later on and then I hear it. But one weird thing I'm looking forward to, and I hope the camera or the microphones pick it up, is I'm you know I like to swear. You know I like a swear word. So I'm looking forward to hearing the players swearing a little bit more, which I think we will do, of course. Some things that we have to rule out. I mean, players won't be spitting, for example, for obvious reasons. I think that there's even talk of maybe a yellow or worse for that. But yeah, it's just great to have football back, isn't it, ladies and gents? Obviously, we had UFC. That was the first sporting event that was back in the weekend. A bit of a shock there. Tony Ferguson getting beaten, which was well beaten, by the way, as well. Conor McGregor, I don't know if you've seen it, went on a bit of a rant then yesterday and today on Twitter, calling out pretty much everyone and saying that he'll be back in July. So keep an eye out on that one as well. There's also something on Timo Werner that I want to get to in a little while as well. Pablo's already straight in there with the Timo Werner to Liverpool. Yes, mate, I'm with you on that one. There's no argument from me. Already downloaded it, mate, says Lolsby, but regards to Hot Mic, you're a gent, mate, thank you. I mean, it could be the survival nature or feature of this channel. As you know, we've turned off the ads on YouTube for the month of May because we want to give people content without ads popping up and annoying them as well. But Hot Mic is class for us because every time you download the app, put in our welcome code Anfield there and give us a follow. It gives us a financial incentive as well, and it's free for you guys to do. And it massively helps out the channel. So if you like what we do, please do look at the link in the description below. Click on it. It doesn't matter if you use an Android phone, doesn't matter if you use an Apple phone, doesn't matter what you do. It isn't available on desktop, so it has to be a mobile device, so whether that's an iPad, a phone, whatever it might be. Download the app and put in that code. Some big YouTubers coming over to that soon, by the way, so do keep an eye out for them. Right, so as I said, there is a report in 90 Minute that Liverpool are have some competition perhaps for Timo Werner, and that Chelsea are keeping tabs on the player. Now, 90 Min how can I say this with the utmost of respect? It wouldn't be my go-to for football transfer news. That's about the most polite way I can say it. But they believe Chelsea are ready to make a move for the Leipzig striker should Liverpool opt out of signing him. Now, just maybe some credibility to that, but I don't see Liverpool dropping out of signing him. Especially as vocal as he's been about wanting to come and play for the best manager in the world in Jurgen Klopp and play for Liverpool. He's ruled out staying or going to Bayern Munich or staying in the Bundesliga. So, I mean, I can't see anything other than Timo Werner coming to Liverpool, if I'm being honest about it. I'm going to keep banging this drum, and if it comes back to bite me in the ass, so be it. But I'm as confident as I can be that we will see Timo Werner as a Liverpool player. I don't know for a fact, but I'm as confident as I can be. John Hamilton's very kindly put in a download link there for a hot mic for anyone that wants to just click on that. Thank you, John. Right, so Yibber said, should have got Bruno Fernandes. He's class. Does look like a very tidy footballer, indeed, mate. But we have a load of class midfielders, and I think we're monitoring Houssem Aouar. So that would be probably the creative player or the creative spark. We touched on this last night. So Brian Morrissey, one of our mods and one of my good friends, believes that Gini Wijnaldum may not actually sign a new deal with Liverpool, and that the whole link to Aouar could be if Wijnaldum moves on. Now, I don't know. The Football Crew Show said, are you worried that if the Premier League continues and players from different teams catch the virus, the season gets called off again? This is where Germany, I suppose, comes into play. We will get to see how the Germans handle it. And look, we know how good the Germans are dealing with a lot of situations. So, we've already seen players at Cologne, Dynamo Dresden, I think a couple of others, come back with positive results. They're carrying on. Players are going into isolation and they're doing what needs to be done. I think every precaution will be taken, but nobody can say with 100% certainty that every single player will be absolutely safe. We'd be lying to you. Everybody be lying if they came out and said that, because we're still learning a lot about what happens with this whole situation. We have and the Premier League will have some of the best medical experts in the world, of course, advising them. And as I said, we will learn a lot from what goes on in the Bundesliga. So I can't really give you more of an answer than that, mate, because it would be just me either scaremongering or bullshitting you. And I don't want to do either. So that's the best answer I can come up with, really. Lols Beeb said, Craig, is the points per game more realistic than voiding it if the season cannot be completed? Thank you for that, by the way, mate, because you've led me into something rather nicely. Sean Williams said, imagine if Craig done a Liverpool career mode, that would be the best watch-along ever. I don't play FIFA. Now, people have said this to me loads of times, and I do have an Xbox One in the gaff. I do have a PS4 in the gaff, and I actually think that we do own FIFA 20. So, and I have a capture card. So there's literally no reason that I couldn't do FIFA watch-alongs or FIFA games and stream them. So don't rule it out as an absolute never, but it's pretty unlikely because I haven't played FIFA in years and I'd be dog shit. But I do want to circle back around to that points per game thing that somebody touched on a second ago. I have to answer Yibber's super chat though before I forget. Thank you for the super chat, mate. Again, very, very generous indeed. I heard that Inter are in for Werner because they're selling Martinez to Barca and he's Inter's first choice. That is true. I have seen that link as well, mate. But we have Jurgen Norbert Klopp, Yibber. And it's not like they're going to go in and blow us out of the water financially because Liverpool are in a pretty healthy financial position. Now, they are relying on having to maybe sell Martinez, as you said, which could take time. All Liverpool would need to do, if they so wished, was to trigger that whether it be 50 million or 60 million euro, by the way, I think we still have to wait to find out on that one clause, and go and get the guy who wants to come and play here. So I wouldn't be worried about it. The only reason Timo Werner will not be a Liverpool player is if Liverpool decide against not signing Timo Werner, and not because of Chelsea or Inter Milan or Barcelona or any other club that comes in for him, because it's widely known he wants to come and play for Liverpool. So, I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. The only way it won't happen, in my humble opinion, is if Liverpool don't make the move. And I think it's prudent that the club are taking a step back right now, having a look at the financial situation, seeing how the resumption starts, having a look ahead to next season, working out the finances. I mean, nobody knows, for instance, if the entirety or if part of next season will be played behind closed doors. So if that happens, I think David Maddock reckons somewhere between 85 to 100 million in gate revenue or ticket sales revenue could be lost by the club. So that has to be factored in as well. But I still think we'll see him. Anyway, I did say I wanted to move around to that points per game thing that somebody mentioned earlier on. So Gary Neville, whom I have praised many times during this entire situation, and rightly so, because I think he's had a lot of good things to say, and I think that he's been very statesmanlike in a lot of the shows that he's done. But he had a bit of a mare. He came out with a piece on Sky saying that points per game relegation is unfair. But as was pointed out by the very good Tim Bolton on Twitter, only 3 days ago, Gary quote tweeted somebody talking about the situation and literally said, this is a quote, PPG is best. So 3 days ago, he thought the best solution to all of this was a points per game thing. And now points per game is unfair 3 days later. Now, this is baffling. And I'm not having cheap shots at the next Manchester United player here. If Cara said it, I'd be saying the same thing. It's got nothing to do with who we used to play for, and regular viewers will know that I've been very, very high in my praise of Gary Neville during this whole pandemic. I think he's been brilliant in a lot of the stuff he said, but that's absolute strangeness of the highest order. I don't know what to say to it. You say one thing, and then 3 days later you put up a piece on Sky saying exactly the opposite thing. I'll leave it to you guys to come to your own conclusions. If you want to check out Tim Bolton's tweet, please do jump on Twitter and you can check it out. And the piece is up on Sky where he goes out and mentions about points per game being unfair. So with regards to relegation, I don't know what to say. It's yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't want to be critical of the man, but it is weird. I think that's fair enough. And I would expect better. From somebody who I think is an excellent pundit and speaks very well and very articulately about the game and about ownership, as he's a part owner of Salford City as well. So I just think it was a bit of a nightmare for Mr. Gary Neville, in my humble opinion. Dylan Cooney said the only thing wrong with the points per game is that teams lose their home advantage. Well, it's kind of not the only thing that's wrong with it, mate. It kind of, it's an average points thing. You can predict straight away who the fuck's getting relegated. Yeah, but it's out the window because it looks like we're going to get the games played, and fingers crossed with the way it's looking at everybody's own stadiums, which is great, which is exactly what we want to. Scotty said, make your mind up, Neville. Exactly. And Casper said, baffling from Gary Neville. It is confusing. I don't get it at all because he's usually so great in a lot of his punditry. It's mental. Subi said, Craig, what Gary has done makes no sense. It's like he was drunk when he said it and then it was totally fine. I don't know. Again, I'm not here to take cheap shots at people. It's not what I do. I just did think this was a very weird situation. Right. So, over the hot mic. Sean McWilliams said there has to be played or either points per game. I'd guess points per game, said Liam Kelly. With regards to the EFL, I'm not sure. Maybe somebody can update me on what's going on there. Are they going to be monitoring the Premier League situation? I mean, it's a lot easier, I suppose, for Premier League clubs financially to put into place all the testing that will need to be required, the isolating of players, all the things that will go around. I mean, we know the money's there in the Premier League. So I've mentioned sporting integrity earlier on, and it's easy for me to sit here, or all of us, because I think the majority of fans watching this stream will be of Premier League clubs, as an example. We can't forget about the Championship. We can't forget about League One. We can't forget about League Two. You've got West Bromwich Albion and Leeds, who have had tremendous seasons, who are looking to fight their way up to the Premier League. You've got clubs like Fulham, who have invested a lot of money in keeping players like Alexander Mitrovic there. You've got clubs like Preston, who are in the playoff places, I believe, who are looking to get up into the Premier League. Yeah, and then at the other end of the table as well, and with League One and League Two, what's fair for one has to be fair for everybody. So I think this is where the Premier League clubs might have to put the hand in the pocket and help out the lower divisions to get through as well. I'm not qualified to go into in depth. This is where the likes of Gary Neville would have more, much more to say on the matter, because he is a part owner of a football league club. He has played in the Premier League. He's very well placed to speak on it, but that's putting aside the points per game nonsense that he came out with. Right, what else have we got? Can somebody give me a hot mic shout, by the way? I do like to keep an eye on the stream numbers to see if we are getting close or if we're pushing up. So if you haven't downloaded that app, please do so. Use the link you can see on screen there when you sign up, the code Anfield, all capital letters, and that will help us out massively. Also, we have or are very close to hitting that 200 member count that we spoke about the other day. If you want to become a member of Anfield Agenda, click on that join button on YouTube. It gives you access to all the cool emojis that people are using, like the Premier League trophy one that Adam's just put in, the WFM one. You get the Anfield Agenda badge beside your name, and membership is just 99p a month as well to join up to the channel. And you also get access to our Discord group, which means that you get to chat with us offline as well, get a heads up on what's going to happen with the channel, bit of back and forth, bit of information before we go live, and a few other bits and pieces as well. And now that Connor Crosby has finally finished college, so congratulations to him. If you don't know who Connor Crosby is, by the way, firstly, shame on you. Secondly, he is the other half of this channel. He does all the technical stuff that allows me to come on here and talk shite into the microphone. He's submitted his thesis now and is finished with college. So I'm absolutely delighted for Connor. I'm so proud of him. And the reason I'm talking about this, by the way, is because I did say that for our Ultra members who are our $4.99 a month members on YouTube, we are going to be starting to put out podcasts with myself and Connor. We don't know on what platform yet, but it won't be YouTube because we don't want to go behind a paywall. We promised we'd never do that. But we will be doing it very soon because he has a lot more free time now. So again, for those that are Ultra members, thank you so much for sticking with us through this lockdown, because without you guys and without people signing up to Hot Mic, genuine chance this channel could have gone kaput. So your support has meant so much to us. I know I'm a pain in the ass. I know listening to me rabbiting on about Hot Mic is a fucking nightmare. I get it. I hear you. But I've been doing it to try and keep us going. So again, thank you for your love and support. Crosby is in the Jesus. How are you, Connor? Look at him in there, hung over to fuck. Yeah, we had a chat last night. He doesn't even remember. He doesn't even remember most of it. But I'm so happy for my buddy and so proud of him as well. The channel wouldn't exist without Connor. So well in. And Liz over on Hot Mic said, congratulations, Mr. Crosby, as does Sean McWilliams. And I'm sure Connor appreciates all the kind words that you guys are putting into the chat right there now, if his hungover eyes can read them, because he barely got out of bed today. I mean, he deserves it. He's worked his ass off to get to where he has with the degree and stuff. So yeah, I mean, he's earned a day in bed, hasn't he, before Craig starts cracking the whip and getting him back working hard again. Right, so bit of Dejan Lovren news, ladies and gentlemen. I've long believed that Dejan Lovren would leave Liverpool this window, and now Gazzetta dello Sport have also reported that Dejan Lovren doesn't feature in the manager's plans for next season. That's according to them. They believe Roma is his most likely destination, and that matches with what I've always thought would happen. So you guys remember I've always said that I'd seen links going back a long time to Dejan Lovren moving on because he wanted first team football, and that Italy was his most likely destination. There had been some chatter that he might make a move to London. He'd be linked with actually 4 London clubs, but I'd always read and believed that if he was to move on from Liverpool, it would most likely be to a league like Serie A, and it looks like Roma want him. I think they may see him as a cheaper alternative to going out and buying Chris Smalling, whom they have on loan for Manchester United. But where I am a little bit shocked on this, ladies and gentlemen, is the fee mentioned in the piece. It was £5 million, and that to me seems remarkably low, even for this current financial climate that we're in. And Lovren, I suppose, he's not that old. I mean, what is he, 30, 31, something like that? 5 million? That seems a bargain. Surely he's worth more than that. I mean, if I was valuing Dejan Lovren, it would have to be minimum 10 to 15 million quid. Even in this mad financial market that we're in right now, where people are struggling and clubs are stuck for a few quid. 5 million. But then again, I've often always said as well, nobody wants to keep a player that wants to move on, and nobody would begrudge a player that's getting towards the end of the career wanting to play games. So if he's had an honest conversation with the manager and the manager said, look, your fourth choice, mate, you'll have limited game time. And if the clubs can agree a fee with whoever it might be, whether it be Roma or whoever, then yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. Yeah, I just passing on again what I've read, but I'd love to know if you guys, either on Hot Mic or YouTube, have seen anything on the Lovren thing, what you guys think about it. Do you think that the value is right? Because I think 5 million, what the fuck does 5 million buy it? I know we've got some absolute bargains over the years, but I mean, you're talking about a Champions League winning, soon to be Premier League winning, World Cup finalist, self-declared best centre-back in the world for 5 million quid? That seems very, very cheap. Very cheap. Liverpool, you never walk alone, said 20 million max. Casper reckons about 15 million for the cabbage. I love that people have taken the one word. I called him a cabbage once, and people are now referring to him as the cabbage. That's why I love you guys. You do make me smile. So Jordan Henderson, the best player in the world, and I will happily read that name out. That is the gentleman's name. Said 15 million minimum for Dejan Lovren, and I also agree on the Hendo love. Well in, mate, on that. Gabriel said 5 million is what he's worth. Alara said, wow, we really wanted to get rid of Lovren. I think sometimes, Alara, football doesn't have a place for sentiment, and rightly so. And look, Dejan Lovren, I've always said this, whatever we think about him, whatever you think about his abilities as a footballer or whatever, he has loved playing for this football club and has given his all whenever he's put on the red shirt. He's got the coffees in Starbucks for Mo all the time as well. But sometimes it's time for a player to move on. And Lallana's going to be moving on, of course, when his contract comes to an end. Kleiny's going to be moving on. And maybe the time is right for Dejan Lovren to move on and to finish out his career in a league that has slightly slower pace in Serie A. I don't agree with the fee. I think we need more than that for him. I think he's worth more than that. But yeah, I think it's the right move if it takes place. Let me put it that way. I can see we've got some more viewers over to Hot Mic as well. So again, thank you. Really, really appreciate that. He talks too much crap anyway, said Lara, with regards to Lovren. I mean, any resemblance of sympathy I had for Dejan Lovren went out the window with this whole situation. You know what I'm talking about. The whole David Icke kind of fucking... I don't even want to get into it. Google it if you want to read about it yourself. But yeah, any last resemblance of I won't say respect, but goodwill I kind of had for Lovren went out the window when he was retweeting and just agreeing with that bollocks. So yeah, TTFN I think is the best way I could put that. Bernadette said over on Hot Mic, as Klopp keeps improving the team, a lot of players will drop out of favour and they won't be good enough, which is kind of a point with Lallana, isn't it? Remember when Kloppo came in, Adam Lallana was one of the most important players, particularly for a press because he was so full of energy. Himself and Bobby Firmino were pressing all over the place. And I think we've kind of moved on, I won't say past Lallana because he's still a very good footballer, but Father Time is catching up with him, and I think for him this is the right time to move on as well. Claude and the Band says, how are we? Over on Hot Mic as well. Said hello to everybody in the chat. Hope you're well, Craig, and well done to Connor. And the good news is Claude and the Bandsters, aka Claude from AFTV and Diesel and Terry, they are also on Hot Mic. So if you download Hot Mic, which I please do, put in that code Anfield when you're signing up as you're welcome. As it's your welcome code or your join code or your referral code or whatever code you want to call it. Put in the code Anfield, all capital letters. Give us a follow. Then have a look down through that broadcasters list. Make sure, of course, that you give Claude and the Bands a follow as well. Loads of other great broadcasters on there and some more to come very soon. What else have we got? Imbro said it also gets Lovren's wages off the books, and of course Lallana as well. His wages will be going off the books. Kleiny's wages will be going off the books. Craig Crosby's in the house. How are you, Craig? Welcome in, buddy. Right, said IGB or IBG12, excuse me, said the best centre back in the world is worth 1 billion Diet Cokes. Can I have those 1 billion Diet Cokes instead? I think that's fairer for everybody. Or as Brian likes to say, 100,000 Freddos. That's how Connor equates everything, by the way, in Freddos. What have we got? Mighty Reds Media, how are you, mate? Welcome in. Our good friend Dave. If you're after any television solutions, hit up Dave in our Mighty Reds Media in our Discord group, and Dave will look after you. People often ask me, Craig, how do you get to watch all these games? If you're a member and you're in our Discord group, which all members are in, even the 99p a month membership, Mighty Reds Media, get on to Dave there, he'll sort you out. Right, what else have we got? Leicester fan opinion said, boy, who should leave Leicester from the current squad? I will leave that to Boy to answer. Right, what else have we got in the chat today? Gary Neville, done that. Oh, yes, actually, something that's not really Liverpool related, but that did catch my eye, and I'm sure that you guys have probably read this as well, but it's been widely reported that if Juan Laporta becomes Barcelona president again next summer, when I think the presidential elections are taking place, that he wants to bring Pep Guardiola back to the club as manager. Interesting. I mean, there has been a bit of chatter about Juventus for Guardiola maybe down the line. I mean, I've always thought that there would be a move back to Barcelona maybe at some point. I mean, there was a brilliant documentary on the other night on Sky. I think it was called Take the Ball, Pass the Ball. It's based on the book by Graham Hunter as well, about that fantastic Barcelona team, that all-conquering Barcelona team for 4 years under Pep Guardiola that were absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, I think maybe that'll make sense. Can you do a collab with the United stand? Well, I've done, I think, 4 so far, Kusel, mate, over the last couple of seasons. And yes, Mark will be coming on the channel for a chat. I was talking to Mark the other day, and he's going to be coming on. As you know, though, Mark is really busy. So whenever Mark has an available slot of time between, you know, his busy work life, of course, and his family life, Mark will be coming on here for a chat. And I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while since we had a catch-up publicly on the stream anyway. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to having Mark on. And yeah, he's one of my favourite YouTubers, and he's a really nice bloke as well, and somebody who's been very helpful to this channel. So yes, there will be a collab with the United stand coming up, absolutely. Craig, dairy milk chocolate or Mars? Cadbury's all the way, Casper. I mean, all the way. Yeah, definitely. New Manchester City kit Brian Morrissey wants to talk about. Have you guys seen this? It looks like, and I know Brian's pointed this out as well as many others have, it looks like somebody made a kit of blue glass and then just stood on it and smashed the glass. Some people have pointed out that perhaps it is made of recycled Copperberg bottles. That would not be for me to say. I do not know. It made me laugh like fuck, but I do not know. But it is a weird looking kit if you've seen it, and I'm sure you have. Yeah. Portuguese League confirmed back on the 4th of July. Thank you. Who was it in Hot Mic that said that? Let me just go over there and check. I do like to give credit to everyone that makes a comment. Where was it? It was Craig, which is weird because it sounds like I'm giving myself credit. But thank you, Craig, over on Hot Mic. What else? Goldbridge and Claude, the triple crown of YouTube pundits. Craig, Goldbridge and Claude, excuse me, Dabo said. The triple crown of YouTube pundits. I'll take it, mate. I will take it, absolutely. And yeah, there's some more good interviews coming up. The reason that I'm streaming tonight and not tomorrow, because usually I take a day off in between, is on Thursday at 8:30, write this in your diaries, I'm going to be live on YouTube and on Hot Mic, and I'm going to be joined by the one and only Jan Aga Fjortov for a chat about his career, about his work as a television pundit now, and transfer windows and loads of stuff in between. I am absolutely over the moon that Jan Aga Fjortov has agreed to come on the channel for a chat. I'm also, hopefully on Friday, it will be a pre-recorded segment. I think it's taking place on Friday. I'm going to be recording an interview with Miguel Delaney, who is one of the football correspondents for The Independent in the UK, one of the biggest newspapers, one of the broadsheets as we call them in the UK. So really looking forward to having a chat with Miguel as well about all things football. I have a couple of other interviews that we're working on as well that I can't say just yet because we haven't got them in the bag. Well, we just haven't got them tied down to an exact day. So again, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you've got the notifications turned on. And again, hot mic, because you never know. We might just throw a spanner in the works and do one of these interviews on hot mic only, just to mix things up a little bit. You don't want to be missing out. So again, download that free hot mic app, put in that code Anfield, all capital letters, and you won't miss out. Liz, thank you for the super chat. Said congratulations to Connor, WFM. And for those that are new to our channel, WFM is our channel motto. And if you don't know what WFM means, it's kind of an inside joke. So maybe, I don't know, should we tell them, people? What do you think? Should we keep it to ourselves? All of our members have the WFM emoji. Let's see you guys spam that screen with that WFM emoji, as Subi has done right there. What else we got? Talk about parts of Oxlade-Chamberlain swap. Personally, I wouldn't do it. Who's Parts? Oh, Thomas Partey. Is that what you're talking about, Benjamin? And Oxlade-Chamberlain? Not a fucking hope I would swap Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Thomas Partey is a great footballer, but no way is Oxlade-Chamberlain going leaving Liverpool. Not a chance. Love the guy. And he can bring something to our midfield attack that other players haven't got at the minute. So, yeah, I can't see Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain moving anywhere. Look at that screen. WFM's all over the shop. You love to see it, ladies and gents. It's brilliant. Ric Flair. Woo! I do love a Ric Flair. Again, people probably wonder why I'm whooping out the Ric Flairs, but you'll know once the watch-along start. That's not unusual. I do love a Ric Flair. Woo! It's it's part of the channel. Right, so will I let them know? Will I let them know what WFM means? Yeah, we like to be nice. It means we're fucking massive. And get ready for some WFM merch that's going to be dropping in the coming months as well, ladies and gentlemen, because it is going to be the first piece of merch that we drop from Anfield Agenda. WFM, I love it. I love it as a brand label. I love it as a motto for a channel. I love it as an ethos for a club. I just love it. WFM, WFM, and more fucking WFMs. Right, again, I've got some more stuff to get through as well, but I want to read out some of your comments. Farwell said, we expect moves when we win the league. Mate, there will probably be moves. There will probably be tears. There will probably be singing. There will probably be laughing. There will probably be every emotion under the sun, mate. I've often wondered how I'm going to feel, and I'm sure you guys have as well, when Liverpool win the Premier League. It's been a long time coming, hasn't it? 30 years. I know the Premier League hasn't been around 30 years. I mean, it was 1992, but 30 years since Liverpool won the top division of English football. Yes, we're going to get to celebrate it together. I mean, nobody's going to be inside the stadium, so we won't have a choice. So we're going to be on here, hopefully, as a community, together, celebrating it. And I want to do a virtual end of the season party as well, where I get you guys in. Maybe we do something like, what's that thing called that everybody's using? All the cool kids are using these days, says the old man. What is it? Zoom. Yeah, maybe we do a Zoom where we get like 15 people in, 20 people in, 10 people in, and we do a bit of a virtual end of season party. I also have an idea I'm playing around with where I get you guys to send us in your celebratory photos, and we do a stream where we have like we have all the photos popping up throughout the stream randomly. What's that thing called again? This is why Connor needs to be here, because he has all the technical terms. I just say, you know that yoke that does the thing where it makes it go round? Yeah, and he knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, so we might do something. We're working on, we want to do something a little bit innovative, and we want to do something a little bit fun for the end of the season. So maybe Zoom, definitely some call-ins, maybe get you guys to send us in some pictures. Mr. RTG said, I'm going to cop some Anfield Agenda merch. Well, the good news is, if you're a member, especially if you're an Ultra member, you'll get a nice discount on any merch that we do put out, particularly for the Ultra members who, as I said, are the $4.99 a month members. We've always had in mind that you guys will get a massive discount on our merch when we do drop it. it sounds weird saying that, by the way, about future merchandise, because I mean we're this little channel of a couple of Irish guys talking about Liverpool, but for some reason, I don't know, people have bought into what we do, and we're really appreciative of it. So yeah, why not? Gallery, not what I was thinking of, Brian. It's what's the word? What's the phrase? Connor knows. It'll come to me at some point. It's not gallery though, but there is a phrase that what is it called? Somebody will let me know in the chat. Not slideshow. Dylan, you absolute legend. Yeah, slideshow. That's the word I was looking for. That's the word my dumb ass couldn't think of. Thank you for that, Dylan. Kent Coastal Holiday Let's. I got it right today. Carl said, I really like the Virgil van Dijk laundry bin. Where do I buy one from? I don't know. I haven't got one, but if anyone does know, let me know. I've got news as well that I ordered. Somebody put me in touch. Maybe it was Steve Boo or Steve. Maybe it was somebody in our Discord group. Let me know about the 2005 blackout shirt that the club released a limited edition of. I managed to jump on it and get them before they were sold out, and I got an alert to say that it's now with the courier company who are going to be bringing it over. So I'm really looking forward to that shirt, because I already have the 3 retro, the score draw 3 retro version of the 2005 Istanbul shirt, and now I'm going to have the blackout version, which I'm so looking forward to, because I think it's beautiful. It really is a thing of beauty, and it's sold out, I believe, already on the club store. I think they have a blackout version of the 73 shirt on the club store as things stand. But yeah, I think that the Istanbul one sold out pretty quickly. So again, got really lucky there. Although I say that, it hasn't got to my house yet, so I'll have to wait till it actually arrives. Craig, when did you start supporting Liverpool? Again, it's a story I've told a few times, mate, but it was 89 when Arsenal came to Anfield. And actually, Claude touched on this last night on the stream, when Arsenal beat us 2-0 at Anfield and won the First Division title, which it was back then. That was actually the night that I fell in love with Liverpool. Weirdly, we lost the game, Arsenal won the league, but I was transfixed by Anfield, by those shirts, by the crowd. I don't know, it was just something that night. It was a loss, but it was a loss that led to me following Liverpool Football Club, mate. So yeah, so 89. So a long fucking time, put it that way. A long fucking time. 31 years. How time has flown. I can remember that night as if it was like last week. I remember, as I said, it was my parents were at their friend's place. I like to call it a dinner party, but it was a Chinese and a piss up, if my memory actually serves me correct. And yeah, I was watching on the sofa as it unfolded, and yeah, transfixed and fell in love. Got the Liverpool bug that night, and you know, like everybody else, it stays with you, doesn't it, forever? Origi said, I missed the blackout shirt. Yep, unfortunately you did, mate. Now, that's not to say the club maybe won't do another release of it. I don't know. I was really fortunate to get this season's blackout New Balance shirt as well. I've been trying every year since they released those blackout shirts to get one, and managed to get this season's one, and I very, very rarely wear it because I want to keep it up, because it will be a blackout version of Liverpool's first Premier League title winning season shirt, and I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to vacuum pack it, vacuum seal it, and put it away safely, yeah, for the future, because it's something I'm going to cherish. Subi said, Craig, Chambo's attacking player and Partey is the defensive player, so the transfer makes no sense. A lot of the stuff, Subi, mate, that you're going to see makes no fucking sense. I mean, I think Arsenal, Claude was saying it last night, and Diesel as well, Arsenal is a possible destination for Thomas Partey if they can sort out that transfer. And I think there was even talk of a part exchange for Alexander Lacazette, if my memory serves me correct, on that one. So yeah, that to me makes more sense than us getting rid of a player who everybody loves, including the manager. There's no way. There's just no way that's happening. Well, hello there, said Craig. Who is your favourite player of all time? So if I'm looking at a Liverpool player, Robbie Fowler. If we're going outside of Liverpool players and ask me who my favourite player is of all time, it is Diego Armando Maradona. He is my favourite footballer of all time. Is he the greatest of all time? That's an argument for himself and Lionel Messi, in my opinion. I mean, all the Ronaldo fans I mean, I respect Cristiano. I think he is an absolute superstar. One of the best of all time. But for me, the top two are Diego Armando Maradona and Lionel Messi. But yeah, Maradona, probably my favourite of all time. Because he was a bit of a nutcase. And I love me a mad bastard. So, Maradona. I actually have a signed Maradona shirt up in my attic, actually. I collect memorabilia. And in a previous lifetime, I was... I was involved in the memorabilia industry, and I've got some nice pieces that I've kept up for hopefully my son down the line as well. Craig, who's your favourite rival player? Kevin De Bruyne, because he's absolutely exceptional. De Bruyne probably. If I'm talking about Premier League, outside of the Premier League, I suppose it depends on your interpretation of the word favourite, doesn't it? Really. Liverpool, you never walk along, said Cristiano Ronaldo the greatest of all time. He's not. Sorry, but he simply isn't. I know that there's a load of Ronaldo fanboys out there, but for me, I genuinely think it's an insult that he's even in the conversation with Messi. That's how strongly my belief is that Messi is a better player than Ronaldo. But look, it is all about opinion. Each to their own. I've had this debate with people so many times, and look, you know, we've been lucky to have both of them in our lifetime playing the game, and for us to sit back and watch. So whether you are Cristiano all time, whether you're a Lionel Messi all time, we can all agree that we've been very lucky that our generation has got to watch those two players play the game. I think that's the best way of sorting this out. Hipia or Gomez, said Lols Beeb. It's an impossible question to answer. Different times, it's impossible. How can you compare Hipia to Gomez? I mean, I love Sammy. Big Sammy's amazing, but it's impossible. And Gomez is only starting his career as well, so he's so far to go. I think Gomez could go on, and this is high praise indeed, because I love Sammy Hipia so much. I think Gomez could go on to be better than Big Sammy, but that's saying a lot, because I rate Big Sammy Hipia very highly with Liverpool centre-backs, like one of the greatest. Messi is the greatest players around him. Maradona never had as much, said Mo. Look, there's a great documentary. Well, there's so many great documentaries about Maradona, but there's a great one about him going to manage what's the Mexican club, the second division Mexican club. I can't remember. It is where one of the drug cartels are based. I don't know if it's Cali or Sinaloa, or I can't remember where the team exactly the team is, but it's on Netflix, and it's class. It's really good fun and definitely worth a watch. I know somebody in the chat will know exactly what the name of the team is. I just can't for the life of me remember what it is right now. Zlatan greater than them all in his own mind, said Darkness. Well, you know, Zlatan is very mentally strong. Let's say that. Zlatan does love him some Zlatan. Right, what have we got? Well, hello there, said from the bottom three clubs in the Premier League, who would you say has played the most entertaining football? Norwich, I agree with you. I would say Norwich. I absolutely agree with you on that one. I remember myself and Connor were over in Florida, and we were in a football shop actually looking at some MLS shirts at the time, and they had this whole big massive screen, and the Norwich Manchester City game at Carrow Road was live as we were in the store, and we actually just sat there, as did loads of people in the shop, and just seen this mental game unfold where they beat Manchester City. And I think that to me was probably the first moment where I really said, oh, we could very well go and win this league this year. I started to see some signs that I hadn't seen before in Manchester City. Yeah, that was a great performance by Norwich. One of the most entertaining games of the season. What do we got? I'm better than Messi, said Origi. No doubt, sir. No doubt. Right, can I get a hot mic count, ladies and gents? If anybody's on there, can anybody let me know where we are with regards to follower numbers on hot mic? Because again, it's free to download. It can keep us sailing through these waters. All you need to do is download that hot mic app, put in the code Anfield, give us a follow on there as well. And if you're on there right now, please do hit that share button. What else have we got? No, it wasn't Racing Club Mo. It was, I can't remember the name of the team. It'll come to me if I have to do research on it. Was it Sinaloa? I know that there's the Cali cartel, the Sinaloa cartel, but I can't remember what the name of the club was. If it was Sinaloa, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Right, let me see. So Eunice said, I don't get why people put Maradona over Cruyff. Maradona's not even won that much and Cruyff has won more as a player and manager. Look, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and belittle Johan Cruyff, mate. Johan Cruyff as a player and a manager, but the manager part can't come into the conversation of the greatest player of all time because it's called the greatest player of all time. But look, Johan Cruyff, mate, is one of the greats of the game for sure. Total football, that Dutch team, that Ajax, all-conquering Ajax team. He then went and introduced the philosophy of football at Barcelona as well, that was then taken over by Pep Guardiola and moved on a bit more. But Johan Cruyff is one of the most influential people of the game ever. But and it is just my opinion, as Brian said. I was asked who my favourite or greatest player is, or favourite player actually, was who I picked. And it was Maradona. I mean, if you pick Cruyff, it's a great choice, Eunice. But the managerial stuff's a little bit different because, you know, it's a manager thing, not greatest player. But so I was asked who my favourite player was, and I said Maradona. Joanne said 1524 followers on Hot Mic. That definitely isn't right, Joanne. We're 200 at least more than that. It was Sinaloa, said Brian. There you go. Sinaloa it is, so thank you. Yeah, Joanne, you're way off on the Hot Mic thing. We're definitely more than 1524. What's my favourite Liverpool goal of all time? Mine's Gerrard's Olympiacos goal. It's got to be Origi's against Everton for the crack. I mean, it had it all, as I said. Up in the air, Van Dijk turned his back. Then all of a sudden, Jordan Pickford, for some unknown fucking reason, decided to jump up in the air like a clown. And, you know, the rest is history. I'll never stop enjoying that goal. Kloppo on the pitch, running round. People, Evertonians losing their fucking minds, calling for Klopp to be deported, basically. It was great. Yeah, it was one of my favourite moments for sure. What have we got? Craig, what do you think about Lallana's future at Liverpool? He hasn't got one. It's, without being blunt, mate, it's as simple as that. His contract is up at the end of this season and Adam Lallana will be a free agent, and he may already have a move sorted out, I don't know, but I wish him well wherever he does go and thank him for his time at Liverpool. Curtis Jones goal against Everton, or the Origi one, said Origi. Yeah, I mean, Curtis Jones was a belter as well, fair play. Where do I live? Somebody's like, why, mate, you outside my fucking house? I live in Wexford in Ireland, mate, as I've openly said numerous times. What do I think went wrong for the Reds in the 90s? I remember we only won the League Cup and an FA Cup. Well, we played some great football units under Roy Evans, particularly in the 90s. I don't know what went wrong. Well, I mean, we had some fantastic players. Barnes, McManaman, Fowler, Beardsley. I don't know. I honestly don't know, mate. I don't know if it was the lifestyle. I don't know if maybe they were having a few too many drinks, and I don't know what stopped us from winning it. But we did play some very good football under Roy Evans, and no more so than that amazing game against Newcastle, that 4-3 game, which was absolutely crazy, with Stan Collymore scoring the late winner, Kevin Keegan head in his hands, and yeah, I don't know. We should have won more, you're right. I can't really quantify or give you a realistic answer. And Rob Shepherd's given us an answer, and it's a fair one. United stopped us, which is a very fair point. Sir Alex Ferguson and Manchester United, yeah, themselves and Arsenal started to really come into their own and move ahead of us, and you can't deny it. Ken Coastal Holiday Let's, I got it right that time, Carl, said, support this channel, you rock, Craig. Thank you for the super chat, Carl. That means a lot, really does, mate. But your support as well means the world to us. And of course, love to yourself and Julie. Me Julie, I felt like saying there, sorry. I went full on Sorry, just scrolling down. Full on Ali G there for a second. Right, so one last thing for me. Former Premier League goalkeeper Paul Robinson told Football Insider that he thinks reported Reds target and Arsenal wonder kid Bukayo Saka, I always get that kid's name wrong when I pronounce his first name, would be better off staying at the Emirates. He said Liverpool are trying to muscle in there and take him because he's 18 and he's already made 29 appearances this season. He's very good going forward. However, with Arteta at Arsenal, I think it could be more beneficial for the player to stay there. I doubt that he would get the same opportunities at Liverpool as an 18-year-old for his development. It's worth staying at Arsenal for a while longer under a manager that is keen to promote youth. I suppose there's two ways of looking at what Paul Robinson said there. I kind of, and I don't think he meant it in an offensive way at all, but Jurgen Klopp is pretty fucking good, mate, at developing youth, and I don't think anybody will argue otherwise. Mikel Arteta is completely unproven as a manager and has no background as developing younger players. He was a great assistant to Pep and could well go on to be a fantastic manager. He would get more game time at Arsenal probably, I don't deny that one bit. But he is in a good position in that he can still see out another year at Arsenal and know that he can walk away at the end of next season with more experience to another club if he so wishes. Or he can sign on for Arsenal for another 3, 4, 5 years and get an approved contract. I just don't like the part about, or the maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I don't like the part about Klopp or him getting a chance to be promoted more. It's it's weird. Let me just check something 1 second. I don't know what's going on there on Hot Mic. Everyone's after losing followers. That's really weird, Joanne. You're right. I mean, I looked the Anfield Rapper down about 500 followers. Chiseled Adonis is down about 200 followers. We're down over 200 followers. I don't know what is going on with Hot Mic at the minute. Yeah, definitely going to have to get on to the guys at Hot Mic about that because I've got no idea what's going on there and why so many followers have been wiped off a lot of our accounts, whereas other accounts have gained followers out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to get on to the guys at Hot Mic there, Joanna. I have checked it and you are right. It's nuts. That's the wrong number. I don't know why, but we'll talk. I'll talk to the guys at Hot Mic anyway. But still, please do download that app and put in that code Anfield. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to bring this stream to a close. I will be back on Thursday, 8:30, with that interview with Jan Åge Fjørtoft. Please do hit the subscribe button on YouTube if you enjoyed the stream. Give us a thumbs up as well. Again, to those of you that joined us on Hot Mic and on YouTube, thank you so much for your time, for your love, for your support. And yeah, the football is back at the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be Bundesliga agenda. We will be doing watch-alongs. Download that Hot Mic app, put in the code Anfield, and I will talk to you wonderful people on Thursday. Thank you for your love and support. Up the motherfucking Reds.